The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
You feel that? Ah, shit.
User joined your channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Insider. My name is Glenn Spillman, and to my left, for those of you viewing us, is Shawn Allen.
What's up?
We got D-Roids and Davik joining the show quickly. We've got Michael, all you guys. So Davik said he watched our show, Replay on Steroids. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to you live, Boston, Massachusetts, from Armed Radio. And you could download the app. Shawn, go ahead and tell everybody how they could download the app.
Go to your iPhone, Apple Store, Android Store, and you download the TuneIn app. And you go ahead and you go to Armed Radio and tune in from 9 p.m. East Coast, 6 p.m. West Coast, Wednesday and Friday every week.
All right, folks. You could also go to our website, sportsinsideronline.com, and you could follow us on all social media. We would appreciate it if you would follow our Facebook page, Twitter, all that. Also, on our Twitter, you can see if you go to Armed Radio 01 on Twitter, you could follow those guys. Got a little yellow icon on there. If that's the same, I can go check real quick. So, we will be on every Wednesday and Friday, like Shawn said. You can get your questions ready. You can email us, sportsinsideronline@gmail.com, and we will be more than happy to answer your question. Davik has a question. Davik, we will get right with you on that. I will give a little brief thing on our movie. If you go to Cellar13films.com and then also Cellar13films on Facebook, you will see the new MMA movie that we will be filming this summer. As you guys well know that watch the show, I'm also a filmmaker. So we have some exciting actors. We have Esau McKnight, who was in Blade and Batman Returns. We have Jeff Jedge, who is a big-time martial artist, well-known. And I myself, someone asked if I'm in it. Yes, I will be playing Benny Weissman, a mob boss, if you could imagine that. I will be playing him. So it will be quite exciting. So here we go, folks. Drum roll, freeze. Here we go. Ready? Quiet, please. Alrighty then. That, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats.
Is that the tall can from the other night, sir?
It is. that is the sound of happy hour, and that is a ice cold. It is a Hispanic beer. I will not give the name of them because they're not paying us advertising. And
you started to go me.
Okay, you're not even supposed to give a. All right, so we want to thank Live.me watching us, our Facebook pages, and, of course, the people on Periscope. We want to thank Armed Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you very much, sirs. And let's get right to it. We have a lot of MMA fans that watch the show. A ton of MMA fans that watch the show. And so tonight we will be focusing on the MMA. And as for those of you who are viewing us, you can see my T-shirt and what it's about and all that kind of stuff. So, Dana White has jumped into the mix. He has thrown his hat into the circus.
Which one? Which bowl?
If you will, on the Irish Bowl.
Oh. What is his take?
So his take is, first, Dana White says he will pay both McGregor and Mayweather $25 million for the presumed boxing match.
I don't think Mayweather cares at this point. He's supposed to get in and knock this boy out. See, show the world what a punk he is.
Yes, and they will discuss. The three of them will discuss a piece of the pay-per-view. Welcome, Hey Jude. Anything to do with the Beatles?
Because even if you took 2%, 1%, each one we have 1% of the pay-per-view revenues. That's a crap load of money.
Iris ASAP, welcome to the show.
Okay.
For those of you listening in Boston and all across the United States that are listening on the TuneIn app and on the radio that cannot see us, when I welcome people to the show, these are people that are watching, and I like to interact with our viewers and kind of give them a shout-out and welcome to the show. And when I just pop off questions, those are the questions that they are actually asking us. So, just in case, Guillermo says Mayweather makes nearly $100 million in his fights. Why would he take that dumb offer? Well,
he wants to shut this up. He just wants to smack that down.
Well, Guillermo, let me tell you. All right. So let's just talk money here for a second, because you think $25 million is a dumb offer. Okay. So Donald Trump. He's worth, last time I checked, he's worth about $8.2 billion with a B. Okay, so let's not even get into billionaires. Let's just get into multi-millionaires. Mayweather is not a billionaire by any means of the imagination. Yes, he got $100 million. But if someone throws $25 million at you, I don't care how much money you have.
Don't turn that away.
You don't turn away $25 million.
You may not get that again.
You just don't do it, because I tell you this. I tell you this. Davik asked if I'm a millionaire. Well, that's a stupid question. No, I'm freaking not. So
sometime in the near future, though.
No, I am not. But also, too, for all of you guys that are watching us, let us know where you're watching from. We like to know.
Yeah, we love that.
So here's the thing. I have known, Latrell Sprewell. A lot of you may not know who he is, but he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves back in the day. We got Chicago watching. So he made millions of dollars. He turned down one time a $12 million contract. And his words were, I've got a family to feed and kids to feed. That ain't enough money for me. Well, fast forward a couple years, he retires, this and that. The guy is pretty much bankrupt now. His boat was repossessed. His house was repossessed. And he owed a lot of money to people. Now, let me put this in perspective. He had a house, and it was a nice house, but at the time, it was worth $250,000. Okay? That's not bad, especially in Minnesota. Minnesota, your money goes a lot farther. He had that repossessed. He had his boat repossessed. How do you, as a one-time prior millionaire, get your home repossessed when... that's just not smart with money. So when someone says that is a dumb offer, well, I bet you Latrell Sprewell wished that he had $25 million right now. There's a lot of athletes in every sport that have wasted their millions of dollars.
Any person who represents sports person is going to tell you, you're going to get offers throughout your whole career, whether it's football, basketball, MMA, boxing. Someone offers you $25 million, you never sneeze at that.
No.
Never. Because you may not get that offer again.
Nope. And I will tell you this. Again, folks, tonight we are talking MMA and UFC mainly on the show. At least half of our show is going to be on that. So I will say this, too, that I've always told players, someone says, if they do make the fight happen, who are y'all going for? Y'all, where are you from, brother? I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, y'all, you're either from Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, something like that. Anyway, I will tell you that in just a second. I've told these guys, Texas, all right, I was right. Davik says, Mayweather is the A side. It was dumb of Dana to say he didn't see that. I'm actually going to be talking about that. I told these guys, when you get your money, especially your first $1 million, you take your first $1 million, you don't freaking touch it. You put it in a bank account. Because I promise you guys, on everything holy, back when I told them that, on $1 million in a bank account, the interest that you made on that was about $5,000 a month back then. You could live on the interest alone on $1 million. So say you lost all your money, you could still be in a nice house, $5,000 a month, and live on that. But they freaking don't do that. And then when you get another $1 million, you put it in another bank account, and a few along the way. LeBron James, he's making $23 million. He should take half of that, put it in an offshore account, and then start doing investments and all that kind of stuff. These guys don't do that. They don't teach that to you in college. They don't teach that to you in high school. They just use you, abuse you, bend you over, rub you down, and done. Thank you very much. James Deering, welcome to the show. Lauren Davi, welcome. So here's the thing about Mayweather, and here's what he said. He said that he would pay McGregor $15 million base salary to meet him in the ring. Now, McGregor hasn't made $15 million on a fight. Now, did I say Mayweather or McGregor? Did I say McGregor? McGregor, yes, McGregor. He has not made that kind of money.
No, not yet.
So Mayweather's trying to make the fight happen. So he's saying, all right, brother, I'll tell you what. Base salary, all right, $15 million. What can you do in $15 million here in the U.S.? What can you do with it over in Ireland? Over in Ireland, you could buy a big arse house. You could buy a freaking business. You could buy your mom and dad a house. You could buy your nice cars. You could buy everything that Conor McGregor likes.
You buy a pub in Ireland and a house.
Oh, dude, easily a pub.
A pub is always going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
We're always going to drink.
So,
could you buy your show?
I wish you wouldn't have read that, but yes. Davik is on one today. I think Davik is a bit
They're rotating this week.
A bit on the high
John
side.
Jones was doing it the other day.
So, here's what Dana White said. He referred to the entire situation as weird, but claimed he's the only person that could make the fight happen since McGregor is currently under contract with the UFC. Well,
I don't like the way he said that at all. That makes me think that I'm the only one because you're under contract with UFC. It also means that I'm going to get my piece of the pie. I don't like that. Just the way he said that just rubs me wrong.
It rubs you wrong.
Yeah, it just rubs me real wrong. I'm just like, what you're telling me, he's under contract with UFC, so okay, authorize McGregor to make the fight, but no, Dana has to get in the middle of it. And
well, he does have a point. So say I represented somebody. I mean, I represent a couple people as far as a couple athletes and actors and whatnot. I'm not talking big athletes. I'm talking people that are starting out. If they're under contract with me, so if they wanted something, I could say, well, I'm the only one that could make that happen because you're under contract with me. He's got a valid point there. Now, he probably said it out of being arrogant.
Yeah, that's what he comes from a bad place of where he's saying that.
Yeah.
He's basically saying without saying it, he could kibosh this whole thing and there will be no fight, no matter how bad they want it. That doesn't make business sense for him to do that.
Robert Cardona, welcome to the show.
It doesn't make business sense for him to do that. Well, basically, being a smart ass, he could say, nope, this is not happening, I'm not going to authorize it.
Dana White is an egomaniac.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bit of a narcissist. So his statement has truth to it. It has fact to it, but it's also laden with arrogance. So yes. So if the money's there and the money's right, Dana White will. D-Royd says Dana is an idiot.
That pay-per-view is going to make more money than any UFC has ever made.
Drew Mystical, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in.
Because Mayweather's name's on it.
And for those of you who are just joining, you're watching Sports Insider on Armed Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. Download their app on TuneIn, and you can check us out every Wednesday and Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, and any of their other shows that they have on there all during the week. So tonight we're talking MMA, a lot of our shows about Mayweather and McGregor. Be that of what Dana White is, I think that he has an issue. If you read interviews and whatnot, he has issues with Conor McGregor that you could tell that are underlying if you go and read the stuff that he says. So, here's what Dana White said in a quote, and I quote, "I'll tell you what, Floyd, here's a real offer. I'm the only guy that can actually make the offer, and I'm actually making a real offer." Well, let me stop right there. I'm going to stop right there.
A real offer.
A real offer. So Floyd Mayweather, so basically he's disrespecting Floyd Mayweather, and a guy that's 49-0 that could knock Dana White's head off. And basically, he's kind of slapping Mayweather in the face, disrespecting him, and he finishes, "We'll pay you $25 million. We'll pay Conor $25 million, and we'll talk about pay-per-view at a certain number." The optimal word, certain, right there.
And because he's a egotistical asshole, he did that on purpose because the way Mayweather came out and said, "Hey, what about?" Because McGregor wanted a certain amount of money. Mayweather said, "What about this for you, this for me,
right,
and we'll talk about you getting." So what did Dana do? He interjected himself and said, "Whoa, wait a minute." And the way he weaved his words there was to say, basically, disrespect you and back up for a second. We'll give you this much money, like we're doing you a favor.
And here's the rest of Dana's comment. He said, "There's a real offer, Mayweather." Someone says, "Did Dana offer?" I'm sorry, it faded off. Could you ask that question again? So when Mayweather was asked about that, Mayweather responded, "He's a effing comedian." I don't want to get that little E by our show tonight, so I'll just say effing, and you guys could fill in the rest. So Dana's disrespecting Floyd. Floyd's calling him out. So if there ever is a press conference with Mayweather and McGregor with Dana in the middle, I would love to be a fly on the wall and hear what Mayweather says to Dana White. Because
at this point, I think Mayweather's representatives are going to reach out to Dana and say, if you want to make more money for the UFC than it's ever made in its entire life on pay-per-view with Floyd's name on it next to Conor's, you're going to give us this, this, and this, and that's what we're going to take. Take it or leave it. Dana's not dumb. He knows that Mayweather's going to draw. Conor draws. So
Guillermo says that press conference would get a lot of ratings. Yes, it would. And guys that are watching on Periscope, because Facebook and everybody else is kind of quiet tonight. So what do you guys think? Davik says, how much of this trash talk do you think is fixed? All right. Well, as a person that has been behind the scenes of these MMA trash talk, I will not name the fighters, but there are two fighters that fought last year that hated each other, and they were jaw-jacking back and forth. There was some physical activity at the press conference, and I was sitting right there, right front row watching. And then I interviewed both of them after the press conference, and I heard some things, I asked some questions, and one of them told me that, well, I really don't have anything against the guy, and then they said, well, you got to put on a good show to sell tickets, kind of like a Barnum and Bailey kind of thing. So how much do I think of it is fixed? I would say about 80 to 90% of it, because I know that I've heard someone tell another fighter, hey, when you go out there in the press conference, make it good, make it believable, and put on a show.
See, I don't think with this right here, because this is a cross-brand boxing and UFC, I don't think you have to fix what's going to be said, because it's going to draw a lot of attention already. It's going to draw a lot of, circus activity, so to speak. It's going to be mayhem. So I don't think you really have to interject too much.
Guillermo said it's like WWE wrestling. People love the drama, not so much the wrestling. I think the majority of them do it because they know it brings money. Best example. Conor McGregor, yes. He's it is a show. Davik says, I think they both want to be in the headlines, Mayweather and McGregor. Well, Mayweather, he doesn't really care. He's more of a mild-mannered kind. He doesn't really care. McGregor, on the other hand, Mr. Narcissistic, absolutely. I've seen McGregor in the wings. I've seen McGregor away from the media. I've seen McGregor around regular people, and I've seen him act like a regular guy. So when he gets on the press conference, it's like a switch is flipped, and then the drama ensues. So the person who made the WWE comment is absolutely freaking right. D. Royd says the notorious narcissist. So Polis Erkin, first time on Periscope. Welcome.
But he's as much of a glory hound as Conor is.
Who?
Mayweather. He always has.
D. Royd says my buddy met him in L.A. Said Conor is actually a great and humble dude. Yes. So here's the thing. You have to. It's kind of like the show. I've even seen guys. It's all they've said to their fighters is Academy Award, brother, Academy Award. What that means is put on Academy Award performance for the press so we can get ratings and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of this, especially with Diaz and McGregor. Now I can say this for certain.
Oh yes.
That Diaz does not like McGregor.
There's no acting.
Diaz has that attitude. I've seen Diaz on certain shows, and he's kind of a doesn't give a crap kind of guy. He's all about smoking that bowl. And
we got a chance to hang out with him when he was there and sat with the Brother Lynch show, and he seemed like a totally different type of cat back there. I mean, he was talking, and it was just like But I can see if you got on the wrong side of this guy, and he didn't like you. He thought you were a jackhole, and he thinks Conor. He truly does not like Conor one bit. But here's the thing about Mayweather. Mayweather, he sets a bar. I'm going to take this much money, and these are going to be the stipulations for the fight.
Nerdy blockhead, first day on Periscope.
He's pretty hard line on it because he's heard this man over here, Conor McGregor, just running his mouth. He's now willing to drop that bar a little bit so you can get this fight done.
Well, when you get so big, because I'll tell you what, everybody has to start somewhere. It's like I was talking to an actor today, and we were talking about, because he's just starting out and he wants to be in the film, and if I don't have a part, then he'll work on the crew. He says, I just want my foot in the door. That's humble. Everybody starts somewhere. It's like, me. I started somewhere, and my directorial debut was actually last weekend on Hush Little Baby. But people say, well, I don't know you yet in the film world. Well, hey, people didn't know Quentin Tarantino either. So, you all have to start somewhere. Floyd started somewhere. Conor started somewhere. But when you start bucking and saying, yeah, you know what, $25 million, that ain't crap to me. That is arrogance. That is something that you need to go back to your humble beginnings. If anything, I'm telling you, if anything, these guys should have a certain sum of money and be like, okay, we'll fight for this, and just do it and say, I'll tell you what, let's just split the pay-per-view and a certain percentage on that, because I'll tell you what, there will be people from all around the world, in both MMA world and boxing world, that someone says he's the champ, he can call whatever shots. That's arrogance. I've seen people who were champs. Hold on a second. Who were champions who wanted to call the shots. Now they're freaking bums and they're freaking all and homeless and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, you're the champ, but you need to drop the freaking arrogance a little bit.
That's what Mayweather's been known for. He always thought he was a better quality fighter than any other fighter out there. So when it came for negotiation time, okay, say there was $100 million to be paid out, right? He'd say, I get 60, you get 40. He would tell who would get what, and then the only one that ever called him really on it was Pacquiao. Pacquiao was like, no. All the other fighters were happy to get $20 million.
Right.
Because some of those fighters he would do like 75, 25, and those guys were like, yeah, biggest payday ever. Him, he was like, I'm a better quality fighter, and he was like, he looked down his nose at you. That's how Conor is. But I'm just telling you, Conor does not, they're both the same type of mentality fighter. I mean, as far as arrogance, but this is where Conor is going to find himself. He finds himself offering Mayweather a boxing match.
All right, someone real quick. Someone, I think it was Guillermo, who asked, "What's wrong with arrogance?" Guillermo, tell me what you do for a living, and I will kind of put it in perspective for you a little bit. But what's wrong with arrogance? Arrogance doesn't make me want to buy a ticket to watch you fight. Period. I don't care who you are. I've been around people. He's in the military. All right. So, okay, all right. You're in the military, so you know about the chain of command. Now, if someone treated you a certain way, say, all right, where are you stationed at right now? Or have you been to the Philippines? Or even the Middle East, in Fort Bragg. Okay, have you been to the Philippines or Middle East? And I'll answer that question for you. And I'm gonna put it in personal. Okay, Kuwait. All right, so over in the Middle East, they don't freaking like us. They hate us. I've been over there. I was in Desert Storm, and they are very arrogant. They treat you like crap, and they don't care that you're in a military uniform. You're wearing that military uniform with pride, and it pisses you off a little bit that they're arrogant.
Right.
But someone asked if you've seen Floyd argue about gloves before a fight and whatnot. But again, yes, he's 49-0. Yes, champ. Yes, all that kind of stuff. So he can, to a point, speak a certain way because he's like, hey, I've never been beaten before. So I could say this and say that. But my thing is, I want the fight to happen because I want everyone to shut up about it.
Conor is a pretty good boxer. I will give him that. But Conor has never fought with somebody in the ring who's going to work the ring, the way Mayweather works the ring, and work that ring and and work the ring and keep him at bay for how many rounds the fight is. When he gets done, his eyes are going to have rings around him because Mayweather's going to work his eyes, he's going to work his jawline, and Mayweather's not going to barely break a sweat. I don't think it's really going to, and he may knock him out, though.
Well, here's the thing. Boxing, 10, 12, 15 rounds. Can McGregor go 10, 12, 15 rounds?
That's the question.
Now, granted, it's 3-minute rounds, but can he do that? I think Mayweather would just punish him and let him go and let him go and let him go.
I don't think it's going to be more than a 10-round fight. Because I think McGregor knows if it goes that long, he's in trouble. Mayweather is just going to wear him down. He's going to do what Cody Garbrandt did to Dominic Cruz. He's just, instead of knocking him out, he's going to work the ring, and may knock him out right at the very end with 30 seconds to go.
Davik says, could Mayweather destroy McGregor with no training camp? I think if the fight happened tomorrow, yeah, absolutely. Christian Hernandez, welcome to the show. So,
you think Mayweather stayed in shape?
Yes, freaking A, right? He does.
I think he does.
I think
fighters that he's training.
I think that he trains just because you retire from a sport doesn't mean you don't. I knew a guy. His name was Steve Migliaccio, and he was a world champion powerlifter. And this guy, at 55 years old, warmed up with 315 pounds. He would put 450, 500 pounds on that bar and still rock it out at 55 years old. So, yes, he still trains every day. Mayweather, he's a world champion. D-Roy says if he can't get Floyd, opens angry, he'll win. But if not...
That's what no one's ever been able to really get Floyd to do.
No.
Is to lose his cool and composure.
Yeah.
He gets angry. He's gotten angry and he gets more focused.
So Mayweather is champion of multi-weight class 49-0. So when he fought Pacquiao, he made a guaranteed purse of $100 million. And that's a lot of freaking money. Guaranteed purse. People keep saying the fight won't happen, the fight won't happen, the fight won't happen. Well, nothing happens until it happens. And, well, so duh, the fight, but you say it won't, I say it will, because there's going to be some money thrown, and there might even be, could McGregor KO Mayweather with boxing gloves? No. There might be billionaires out there that be like, you know what, guys, shut up. I'll give you both each $100 million. Here, go. That's chump change to them. There's going to be someone out there that's going to make this fight happen. It may not happen now, but I guarantee you secretly, Floyd Mayweather's training real freaking hard, because if he gets that phone call, ding ding.
209 is when? What's the date for 209?
We will.
The reason I was asking, I want to know, is it this month?
We're going to get to 209 here in a minute. Polaz Erkan, welcome to the show. First time on Periscope.
My point was
that billionaire should sweat over 25 mil, or he's arrogant. Well, see, now you're being a dick about the freaking whole arrogant thing. No, he's not. I mean, I would.
Do you think it happens this year? Right between these two.
Well,
it happens like UFC 214 or
exactly. Money does talk. So here's the thing: White has gone on record saying that McGregor is not the company's immediate plans. That's the drama I'm talking about.
Oh.
But did say in a potential bout with Mayweather, McGregor would be the bigger star. And to think you're the A side, saying of Mayweather, how are you an A side? The last major fight that you were against Pacquiao, you left such a bad taste in everybody's mouth that nobody wants to see you again. Well, Mr. White, you've left such a bad taste in UFC and MMA fans' mouth the past several bouts, that you've left a bad taste in people's mouth.
Since UFC 200.
Yeah.
Since UFC 200, that's what it was already a bad taste in the mouth. But
so,
UFC 200 was such a flop.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you really think it is a true statement because Dana White says Floyd Mayweather is not as big of a star as McGregor? Do you believe that? Yes or no?
No, and that's probably one of the reasons why Mayweather made the comment, effing comedian. Because he just laughed it off. He didn't know what he was talking about.
I have one yes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 no's. So no, I don't think McGregor is a better star. He will never be a better star. D-Roy says he's just doing that to bring more attention to Conor and the UFC.
A bigger
you got to put it. You got to put it in Dana White's hat. He's a good talker, and he's a good BS artist, and he is a good mixer of the bull. And he's like Jerry Jones. He brings the attention back on him.
The last 4 fights, he'll never be a bigger star than Mayweather, because Mayweather's last 4 fights he fought, I think he made, with the $100 million as the last one, I think he made over $250 million in the last 4 fights.
White Chocolate 69, welcome to the show. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as white chocolate. I've always said that every time I see white chocolate, there's no such thing as white chocolate.
Do you agree? I mean, $250 million over $250 million.
All right, we'll get to that, Salam. So, White said his last fight did 350,000 pay-per-view buys. Conor did 1.3 million and 1.5 million buys. So I don't understand how you think you're an A side. There's a reason you want Conor McGregor fight so bad, because you know that's your money fight.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, first off, Dana White, you're a freaking moron. Just because, all right, let's do this money.
Pacquiao fight.
You might have all these pay-per-views and whatnot, but what do you pay your fighters? You don't pay your fighters crap. What do your fighters make? They don't make crap. What did Floyd Mayweather make his last fight? Oh, I don't know, $100 million?
Hold on.
You tell me any of your fighters, if you add up all the pay that your fighters have made the entire UFC, probably doesn't add up to $100 million.
I want to take the pay-per-view numbers from Pacquiao Mayweather and put them up against the pay-per-view numbers with Brock Lesnar headlining, and I want to see what the numbers look like. How many pay-per-view buys for each one of those?
Okay, so Guillermo segues right into he says Connor's never made more than 10. So McGregor publicly demanded $100 million, okay, for a boxing match against McGregor. His highest disclosed purse in the UFC was $3 million, which was the highest paid purse in MMA history. So, in MMA history, the highest purse was $3 million, which was what? What percentage of $100 million? Like,
I have a 2.5%, 3%.
Nothing. I mean, chump change. I mean, absolutely nothing. So McGregor to demand
10% of $100 million is $10 million.
So
half of that
so
is $5 million.
For McGregor to demand $100 million, that boy is on crack.
If he's asking for $100 million, then that means that you're saying Mayweather needs to get paid $300 million.
So Mayweather said, how can he demand, meaning Conor McGregor, how can he demand $100 million when the boy's never made $10 million in his life? So he's not that. D-Royd says UFC fighters don't make anything since the Reebok deal. Well, the thing is, McGregor needs to kind of come down a notch because ain't no way.
He needs to understand something. McGregor needs to understand in 2004, The Rock's last year in WWE as far as full-time wrestler, The Rock made $9 million that year. You're telling me his biggest purse is $3 million. He's never made more than $7
So D-Roy says, my teammate is WSOF champ and was offered $6,000 by the UFC, LOL. Someone says McGregor is not a boxer. Well, you're wrong. You're absolutely 100% wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. What does MMA stand for? Mixed Martial Arts. In martial arts, you throw punches.
So what does he do most of?
If you throw a punch, that is boxing. And McGregor, just like Shawn says, mostly boxes. So for you to say maybe he's not 100% a boxer, but he is.
The Rock now makes more money with his 2 or 3 movies a year than he does. But I'm just saying, as an athlete in the ring, he made more in 2004. What was that, 12 years ago? 13 years ago?
Yeah.
He made more than McGregor made in his biggest purse. And you're asking for that much money? No way.
Okay, someone said that's why I use the word boxer. He says he's a puncher. Well, we could argue this semantics all day long. And if you want to do that after the show, I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. And so this is what Ice Cube, for those of you who know Ice Cube, I'm not talking about the actual ice in your freezer. I'm talking about Ice Cube, the rapper. He said that the fight is weird. He says that he doesn't really want to see it happen because he just thinks it's weird. But Ice Cube did say, if Mayweather went to the octagon, Conor McGregor's got a higher advantage. If McGregor went to the boxing ring, he's got no chance.
No.
So now we will be talking about Anderson Silva. We had the question there. So Anderson Silva returns UFC 208 to fight Derek Brunson. Now, Anderson Silva did not look very good in his last fight. Now, granted, he only had a few days' notice because the UFC, just like they do almost every freaking, because you were asking the next one, is February 11th. Brunson is about to get KO'd, too wild. Anderson will counter him all night. Okay, but Anderson's, like I said, looked like crap his last fight. So hopefully, since that last fight to now, he has improved himself, and to get KO'd, we shall see.
The last few fights that I've seen over the last couple of years, Anderson hasn't looked very good.
Well, the last fight, Anderson Silva's 41. The last fight, he lost to Cormier in UFC 200, right. July 9th, and to a decision. So
that fight was horrible.
It was very horrible. I mean, he looked gassed. He looked tired.
A year and a half ago, he fought that one kid who he was showboating with, remember?
Oh
He
yeah,
got knocked down.
and Friday, that guy from Friday, he's saying you've got knocked out.
Yeah, because he was like this. Remember, he was doing this, and bam, he hit the chin and just laid down.
Yeah, that's arrogance, my friend.
That's arrogance.
And arrogance just got knocked out. So Junior Dos Santos is a little upset. Actually, a lot upset. So UFC Fight Night, February 19th in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which I have personally been to. I've had dinner there. I was in Halifax for probably 5 hours, but it was really freaking cool. And he was scheduled to fight Stefan Struve. Now, Stefan Struve kind of reminds me, if you guys are horror fans out there, I want you to look up, and if you're by a computer right now, look up the movie Hills Have Eyes. He looks like that dude from Hills Have Eyes. I mean, he's a tall guy, he's lanky, but he has a torn labrum. Now, a labrum is like if you're in the shoulder joint and in the hip joint, you have a labrum in between the bone and the socket. It cushions that joint. So he has a torn labrum. Now, again, this is what upsets me in these reports. They don't say what kind of tear. 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, a strain, whatever. They don't say. They make it sound a lot worse than it really is.
Right.
Now, I know I've had a shoulder injury before, and certain movements, really hurt. I had to take several months off of a shoulder injury. But I kind of have a conspiracy theory that he's using that to duck out of the fight. I could be wrong, but that's my thought. Last thing I remember, we're in America, and it's freedom of freaking speech.
Yep.
And the UFC talked with Fabricio Werdum, and Werdum declined because Werdum, maybe he has a vagina now, and he's afraid to fight Santos. And I think that's the case, because if you're an MMA fighter, let me tell you something. Look this guy up. Dave Badman Huckabee. He lives up in Northern California. He is a heavyweight champion, and he was on our show last year, and I asked him a question. I said, hey, Dave, if there's anything that you will tell these up-and-coming MMA fighters, what would you say? And then he gave me a story, but he said at the end, he said, always be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Always be ready.
Always.
And Werdum is, I think, ducking out. If you are a fighter, you want to fight. If you are a fighter, you should always be ready to fight. Now, I'm not saying you fight every month of the year or anything like that. I understand you need rest and all that kind of stuff, and you need to heal from injuries. But I believe that he's ducking out. So I would like to see that fight. But so Rodney, we were talking about this last night. One of the questions. So undefeated, Cindy, what's up? How you doing? I love you. Undefeated UFC lightweight Khabib. Let me say if I can see this name. Nurmagomedov. Holy crap, that's a mouthful. That's what she said. Will be about 2-1 favor over Tony Ferguson in their interim lightweight championship fight, UFC 209, March 4th. So, he is the favorite, 2-1 favorite. Will he remain undefeated? I think so. That's who I'm going for. Shawn, who are you going for? And why?
I'd be going for, what's his name?
The big-ass name, Khabib?
Yeah.
Khabib Kebab?
Yeah, I think
Cindy, go Raiders, baby. Okay, Cindy, stick a sock in your mouth because their season's over. Okay, I love you, but shut up.
I think so.
Last thing about boxing and MMA. See, Cindy gets it. I'm busting her balls, ovaries.
Oh, really?
And we had one of the women laugh over here in our studio. So we Mayweather said this about Ronda Rousey. He said the whole cliche things. Well, you got to be ready at all times. Blah blah blah. Okay, shut up, Floyd. Just say what you need to say. Floyd said when you take that much time off and you come back, that she should have fought. Basically, what he was saying, a
tune-up fight.
A tune-up fight, a lesser fighter, a fighter that wasn't as good
as
Nunez was. So, yeah, Cindy, she got knocked out, just like Tucker said on Friday, or that what we said. She got knocked out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking MMA, and I hope that we made our MMA fans and viewers happy. And for those of you who just joined, you are watching Sports Insider. We are coming at you live from Orange Radio, Boston, Massachusetts. And Dana White wanted her to be on top to make money. Yeah, but she is a loser the last two fights.
And she's on bottom.
Go to our website, sportsinsideronline.com. Please follow us on all social media. And on there, you will see the social media aspect for Orange Radio. So go follow them. So, any good picks? I'm in Northern Cal, Cindy said. Cindy, where you at? Where you at? It's Friday night, babe. Let's meet up and let's go have a beer together.
Southside.
You're in Oakland.
Ooh,
all right.
Town.
You're in Oaktown. All right, let's meet, Vacaville? Let's meet in Vacaville.
Sgt. Pepper.
Or, heck, let's go to freaking Napa this weekend. Guillermo said me and Cindy are going to hook up later. Well,
hey.
What?
Go down to Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cindy. Napa, let's do it. All right, someone said make some picks. It's Friday night. We've got football tomorrow. So, let's make some picks. And we've been talking about this all week, but we will answer all your questions. Picks.
We put some money on this?
You know what? Picks, yes. Chips, dips, chains, and whips. That's my pick. Okay, here we go. Seahawks, Falcons. Shawn, tell me why.
Falcons.
Tell me why.
I think that they're going to outscore the Seahawks because they're definitely not going to out-defense them unless they have. I mean, big plays do make a game when it's a new season here in the playoffs.
Okay.
But, I think it's going to be a shootout. It could be 38-34.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn smokes a little bit too much crack, and
I smoke crack in my life.
I know you freebase, but anyway, Atlanta is favored 4.5.
And I picked the 38-34.
So,
perfect on the point spread.
Here's my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. Seahawks are going to go in there, and they're going to get all San Francisco on them. They're going to put on their leather straps and spank their little bottoms blue. And they're going to beat the Falcons, 28-17. And so,
okay, big mouth. You know what? Let's put $20 on that game.
This guy still hasn't paid me from freaking last year, so he could suck the $20.
Okay, that was for coffee.
Oh, I said coffee and a sandwich at Starbucks twice.
Okay, all right. Okay, you want to clean the slate?
No, we already cleaned. No. We cleaned the slate because.
How do we clean the slate?
Because OU won that game that you bet. Because I said if OU lost that,
I just want to see if you want to accomplish it.
It was the OU OSU game.
Did you want any credit?
No, we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
And so that's my pick, Seahawks. So the Texans and Patriots. Mr. Texas, are you still watching? So Texans and Patriots. All you Boston fans listening, I can hear you guys screaming from here. I'm going in New England, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the ball busting. Cindy says Texans. Cindy, let me tell you something, sweetheart. You're going to take the Texans. You and I are going to make a bet. If you lose, we will meet at Jameson Ranch in Napa right as you get in off Highway 80 there. And if you lose, you got to buy me a glass of wine. If I lose, I'll buy you a glass of wine. And I'm taking the Patriots over the Texans. And Patriots are going to win 35-10. Stuck on that.
I do think the Patriots are going to win. Do we have a point spread in that game?
Cindy's like, oh, damn. I think she meant to say damn.
Do we have a point spread on that game?
Yeah. Freaking New England by 15.5. Okay, Cindy says, okay, deal.
Okay, you know what? This is going to be a close game.
All right, Cindy, go to sportsinsideronline.com. My information will be on there. My phone number's on there. Text me later, and we'll go over this bet.
If I'm betting, if I was betting,
yes,
I'm betting on this game.
Yes,
I would call final score is going to be 24-13 Patriots. So I would take the Texans and the points, right?
That's what you say.
I'm saying that I don't think the Patriots are going to cover.
All right.
I don't think they're going to cover.
I'm telling you, folks, the Patriots are going to cover. Don't listen to this knucklehead. Tom Brady's going to go off. No, D-Roids. I'm not. No, he's saying. Are you saying?
I'm saying the Texans. I'm picking the Texans and the points.
Okay. All right.
I think that the Patriots are winning, but I don't think they're going to cover 15
and a half. Hey, Patriots fans that are listening, can I get a shut the hell up for Shawn real quick? Because we got a lot of Patriots fans listening right now.
I'm saying they're going to win 24-13.
Shut the hell up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Someone says, do y'all believe sports is rigged?
Don't get him started on conspiracy theory.
We only have a few more minutes of the show. Email me, sportsinsideronline@gmail.com, and we will talk about that on Monday. I promise you. So that's Saturday's games. Let's go to Sunday. Packers, Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 5. Shawn, what's your prediction? Cindy says Packers. I'm with you, Cindy.
Final score in that game, 34-31 Packers.
That's a high-scoring game, man. The over-under is 52. So I will say...
Over-under 52? Do we think it's going to go over, though?
Okay, Cindy says Packers. I did agree with her, but I'm picking the Cowboys. Guillermo says Packers without Jordy. I say Cowboys. If the Patriots win by at least 15, you can make some custom gloves. All right?
Jordy wasn't a factor in last week's
game. Here's the thing. It's going to be Cowboys 31, Packers 28. And there's never been a rookie quarterback win the Super Bowl in NFL history. And Dak Prescott is a threat to do that. It's going to be a close game. I love Aaron Rodgers. As Stephen A. Smith says, he's a bad man. But I take Cowboys at this. They are at home. They've got the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders everywhere. And Guillermo says, he's okay. Yes, I see the green heart, Cindy. Is that you? I'm going to give you a big kiss when I see you, baby. All right. So, Steelers and Chiefs. Shawn, what's up?
I've been going back and forth in my head all week about this game.
Does that mean you have voices in your head?
No.
Schizophrenia?
I'm just thinking about I think different scenarios out. I think that I'm going to stand with yesterday. Well, what I said yesterday, the Steelers are going to go into Kansas City.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be a 24-19 win.
Folks, Kansas City's point spread, good thing I got in early. Kansas City's point spread went down. They are only favored by 1 point. Do not take the point spread. Pick someone straight up. Screw the point spread. I would take the over-under. I would go over. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Guillermo says the Chiefs' kingdom is going to be loud. If I remember correctly, at one point, Seattle was the loudest stadium in the NFL, and then the week after that, if my memory serves me, the Chiefs outdid them.
Right.
Am I right, Guillermo? Let me know.
So who do you take?
Shite, dude. Big Ben is hurt. But Alex Smith, I would take Big Ben over Alex Smith. I'm going...
Big Ben's playing, right?
If he's not playing, the freaking head coach better be shot in the face. I'm picking Steelers by 3. They're going to win by a field goal. I'm taking Steelers 24, and I'm going to take Chiefs 21. So they're going to beat the over under by a half a point. So, folks, we got about 4 minutes left in the show. Keep your questions coming. And, again, you're watching Sports Insider and you're listening to Sports Insider on Arms Radio out of Boston, Massachusetts. We are, in fact, in Northern California, but we are syndicated out of Boston, and we love those guys at Armed Radio. Go follow them and show them some love on Twitter, on Armed Radio 01. Cindy says, whoop, whoop. Guillermo says, when will Seattle get an NBA team?
Never.
Don't say never.
I was joking. I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
Okay, Wiseman says, a legitimate question, not that any of yours aren't, is there still hope for Ronda Rousey's career?
Movies, commercials, and WWE.
There you go. That's it. Movies, commercials.
Lots of money to be made.
Yeah, go to Pantene, Rhonda, because that's all you're going to get, man.
You'll be able to live nice.
Not in the UFC.
No.
The UFC, she is DUN, GONE, however you want to spell it. Now, here's a career in the UFC. She could be a ring girl. That's it. That's it. A new coach? No, she's done. She's done, brother. She's done.
Get an agent that knows how to get you in the movies and commercials.
She cannot.
WWE.
Thank you very much, folks. She cannot freaking stand up. Cindy says, what do you think about the Chris Brown fight coming up? Chris Brown. Well, I got to go with, I believe, Ice Cube as well. Ice Cube said Brown. I got to go with Ice Cube. Ice Cube's the man. He's got to lose about 10 pounds, but he's the man, dude. Again, Cindy says some funny shite. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of people on Twitter asking questions, and we appreciate that. Now, if you type in on Twitter, Joe Savino, JoeSavino, there's a yellow happy face, and right next to his name, it'll say Armed Radio 1. Follow him, and then tweet him and say, hey, Joe, I heard about you on Sports Insider, and we heard them on your radio program. So, folks, we got a few seconds. We thank everybody for watching. We thank everybody for listening. We appreciate you.
Football.
Have a great weekend. We will see you Monday on a regular show and Wednesday and Friday. Peace out. We love ya.